This will just be a real quick introduction. What's it like being president? Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th president, he was the president that followed John F. Kennedy, said, being president is like being a jackass in a hailstorm. There's nothing to do but stand there and take it. So what do you think that means? I'm thinking maybe saying the president doesn't have a lot of control. Maybe he just has to be out there. Who knows? Harry Truman said, a president cannot always be popular. He was the 33rd president. He was the president that followed Franklin Delano Roosevelt and preceded Dwight Eisenhower. He was the one that had to ultimately decide to drop the bomb on Japan during World War II. So he's had to struggle at times, or did. Ronald Reagan, the 40th president, seen by some of the Republicans as being the greatest president of all time, said, the thought of being president frightens me and I do not think I want the job. Although he ran for president no less than 3 times, losing the nomination process twice. Dan Quayle, former senator from Indiana and vice president of George Bush Sr., said, we have to do more than just elect a new president if we truly want to change this country. Meaning, can we always just leave it up to the president? You know, I think President Obama has struggled through this kind of idea that, you know, he can't be the only one that leads us through crises. Adlai Stevenson, who ran for president twice, said, in America, anyone can become president. That's one of the risks you take. Although I don't know in today's world that we would accept this young man as, well, he could run for president. I don't know if he can make it, though. Maybe he could. Clarence Darrow, who was the lawyer during the Scripps Monkey trial, maybe you read that before, leading member of the American Civil Liberties Union, said, when I was a boy, I was told that anybody could become president, and I'm beginning to believe it. George Washington, the first president, probably had the most difficult job because there was no president that came before him, so every single thing that he did kind of set the precedent or set the foundation for how every president that followed him would have to act or perform his duties. He said, few men have the virtue to withstand the highest bidder. Very insightful. William Howard Taft said, why, it's quite like being Peter Pan. Although it's a little ironic that clearly Peter Pan, I don't know, wouldn't think he was similar to William Howard Taft. Theodore Roosevelt said, the president is that invisible force that makes a school of fish suddenly change direction so that everyone's ohs and ahs at the glimmering mass and only later wonders what makes them move in that way. Interesting. He seems very deep in thought. Dwight Eisenhower said, being president means knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to casually take out your penknife and puncture both your enemy's lungs.